Knew he had prostate cancer when he spoke those words, but it was not a philosophy that came from a fear of death. It was instead a philosophy that came from a love of life. With an economics degree from China and very little money, he immigrated to Canada with his young family back in 1967. Over the years, he made a fortune in real estate and gave much of it away, with his late wife Dorothy always at his side. But it was as British Columbia's 25th Lieutenant Governor and the first of Chinese heritage that Lam really came to the public's notice.
When I took the job, I absolutely haven't got a clue what's expected of me.
He learned quickly, refusing to take a salary for much of his tenure, instead using the money to build a Victorian garden for future generations.
The pleasure and the satisfaction of giving during one's lifetime and seeing how it is being carried forward and blossoming into great things are just so satisfying.
When asked about his success, he was always very clear about how he saw his role as a first-generation immigrant.
Learn the customs, learn the language, and integrate and make friends. But at the same time, you don't have to give up your own cultural identity.
Premier Campbell said today that David Lam's vision of Canada included a place where immigrants would find both refuge and opportunity. Lam found both here, and then gave back so much more.
Well, we've endured a tough bout of winter weather today. Let's see what's ahead. Here's Ed Bain and our forecast. Ed?
All right, Tony. Well, it has certainly been quite the day. The snowfall came in a big way about 9 this morning. We'll show you why that happened and what we can expect to see down the road here. But let's get to the real story at this point, which is cold air and these strong wind chill values that we're going to be dealing with for tonight. And this is a top-to-bottom event. So there's your North Island first off. Port Hardy dropping to -10. It'll feel more like -16 tonight. And even on the west side, Tofino getting a wind chill value of -17 tonight. There's Campbell River dropping to -10 officially, also feeling closer to -18. So this trend continues all the way down the island. We'll drop in the NYMO numbers for you here now and work our way down to the south. So -18 is what that's going to feel like with that raw north wind tonight in the NYMO. Down into Victoria, -8 officially, -16 is the wind chill value temperature tonight. And also into Vancouver, the wind chill values will drop things to about -17, officially about -10. So that north wind is certainly going to get the job done in terms of getting that temperature way down there. -8 and -10 is bad enough without driving it into the -20 areas in some cases. All right, let's get to our satellite shot. We'll show you what happened here today. This low, just kind of snuck over us here and really had those bands of precipitation just kind of spinning all around it, and that's where we got the sporadic snow. Some areas, of course, getting more than others, about 10 centimeters into Oak Bay today, about 15 into Port Alberta, but now this system has drifted up into Washington State, so that appears to be it for precip. In the meantime, we have a pull of Arctic air. The Arctic outflow is on, and that's where all the cold air is coming from. We're going to be a couple of days at least dealing with this before things get back to normal. Some rain and above 8 and 9 degree temperatures by the end of the week. But, man, as far as tomorrow and the day after goes, it is going to be cold. So a cold night tonight. We talked about the wind chill values. There's the north getting at -16, -5 for the high tomorrow in a few breaks of sunshine. On to the west side here, again, Tofino gets the wind chill value tonight. Not so much in Port Alberta. Could still see a few flurries showing up here, -12 officially, -7 for the high for tomorrow with some sunshine in amongst the cloud cover. And across into the Comox Valley, again, a very cold night tonight and a white night with some flurries still in the forecast here for East Vancouver Island. The wind chill values drop it to -18, -5. That's the best you can hope for tomorrow. At least you'll see some sunshine, but it'll be a clear cold day there and a clear cold one here as well. Nanaimo, Parksville, and Ladysmith also -18 with the wind chill tonight, -5 at a high and a mix of sunny cloud for Tuesday. All right, the South Island, the Sault-Sydney region expecting -16 is the feel with the wind chill values. Again, you could see some spotty flurries here and there, but appears to be just about done. -2 for the high tomorrow in a clear, cold day. We'll gradually get that to a +2 by Wednesday, but more about that in our 7-day forecast. Cold all over BC, -32. That's the wind chill feel in Prince George, -12 officially in Kamloops, but more like -28 with the wind. There's Kelowna feeling the minus 27 tomorrow, minus 30 with the wind in Cranbrook and Fleury's, and minus 16 with the wind chill values up in Prince Rupert. So a very cold day over all of BC as that Arctic air is right on top of us. Here's the map of Canada, so it's a very cold stretch here over the entire west. Minus 20 for Calgary, minus 17 up in Edmonton there, minus 15 for Yellowknife, Regina, Winnipeg, also cold at minus 12 for Winnipeg's high tomorrow, and then pretty mild into Toronto and Ottawa. 10 for Ottawa's high tomorrow, St. John's at around 2 with a few wet flurries. 777s now for the Tom Harris Group, sir. A cold day tomorrow at minus 5 at the North Island, but it does get warmer. It just gets a little whiter on Wednesday. A few flurries back in the forecast, and then wet conditions, 5s and 6s back on the board on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, but at least the temperatures are moving upward. Here's the Central Island. So a cold one today, and it's cold one tonight and tomorrow. So minus 5 at the high. Still got overnight lows around minus 8 both Tuesday and Wednesday. Flurries could sneak back in on Thursday, but at least we're back in the plus numbers for the daytime highs. Friday's more like normal, but rainy, and then Saturday we stay with the rain, and Sunday we'll have a wet day as well, 6s and 7s through the rest of the weekend there. On to the South Island, nice and sunny for tomorrow, a high near minus 2, but a low about minus 7, so still cold at night. Tuesday and Wednesday, we're into the plus numbers by Wednesday, and then we too will start to move back into 7s, 8s, and 9s here through Thursday and Friday. A wet weekend for us here, but 9s and 7s, and these are plus temperatures. And that's a good thing, because we are certainly dealing with some horrific minus temperatures tonight.
All right, Ed, thanks very much. Paul Hazen next with sports. Right now, though, a quick look at tonight's money numbers.
Watch the Man of Steel defend the planet.
You can't win, and you can't stop me.
Smallville, Fridays at 8 on CHEK.
Oh, excuse me, sir. Do you mind if I slip something in your shoe? You look uncomfortable. Hey, what? Good deep arch support inserts. So, how do they feel? Well, I feel great! These custom fit inserts distribute your body weight more evenly, which can relieve pain in your feet, hips, and even your back.
Beltone, a leader in hearing care on Vancouver Island, is currently featuring a breakthrough new hearing technology. Come and evaluate a remarkable new product from Beltone. This small device delivers power and clarity. It is virtually invisible and comfortable. Call 1-800-748-3499 now and catch every word from your phone, TV, or cell phone. Beltone, serving Vancouver Island for 35 years. It's like adding another room to your house. Murphy Wallbeds of Victoria provide custom room designs featuring their own high-quality, locally manufactured products. Transform an old space into a new place. Locally owned for 21 years, Vancouver Island's only authorized Murphy Wallbed dealer.
It's your time to save, Canada. The nationwide truckload sale is on at End of the Roll. Save up to 70% on brand name laminate, carpet, vinyl, hardwood, area rugs, and more. The nationwide truckload sale on now at End of the Roll.
Acura's super handling all-wheel drive helps you gain more traction in slippery conditions and can make getting around in winter a whole lot easier. And right now, it's never been easier to get behind the wheel of an Acura. Take advantage of the Acura holiday celebration with $1,000 cash and no payments for 90 days on all new vehicles with super handling all-wheel drive.
Time for our Monday night look at sports. Here's Paul.
Yeah, thank you very much, Tony. And it's been another trying year for the West Shore Stingers in the Vancouver Island Junior Hockey League, coming off a one-win season last year. The Stingers responded this year by losing their first 20 games. But game 21 turned out to be win number 1 as the Stingers took down at Campbell River. The game was in Campbell River, so we don't have any highlights, but it was a commanding 4-3 win for the boys. Stingers couldn't string a pair of wins together, however, losing to Victoria tonight, but still a good feeling to get that monkey off their back.
It was great. You know, we were all looking forward to it. We could all feel it coming this year. I mean, as you said, 20 games. We've seen ourselves getting better in practice every week, so it was just a matter of time for us.
Well, it's nice to see him be happy, excited. You know yourself, all players want to play for winners. It's what hockey, it's what sports are all about. And unfortunately, it doesn't always happen that way. And, you know, going down the stretch, I was confident. I was actually quite calm on the bench because the boys were making some good, sound plays.
What was it feeling like the final few seconds there in that game? Walk it through.
Oh, man, it just, longest couple seconds of my life. I was trying to find my way to see the puck through everybody, and I didn't even hear the buzzer ring. I just heard everybody jumping on me right away and selling, so it was pretty good.
All right, congrats to those boys. That's got to feel good. The Stingers playing Bear Mountain Arena, while a guy who scored a lot of goals there, scored one in the NHL tonight, former Grizzly captain Tyler Bozak scored his third of the season for the Maple Leafs tonight. The Leafs won the game 4-1, the final. Well, the weather as it is, it seems a little funny to be talking tennis right now, but for Rebecca Marino, tennis is now a full-time job. The 19-year-old had a breakout season on the court. Karen Larson has the story.
Rebecca Marino was probably destined for this, being named Canada's outstanding female tennis player. After all, how many 8-year-olds would choose to dress up as Jennifer Capriati for Halloween?
That is true, yeah. In grade 3, I think I had a tennis lesson after school, so I just dressed up in my tennis outfit and said I was Capriati.
The Capriati costume aside, Marino wasn't always tennis obsessed. In fact, she only really started taking the game seriously 4 years ago. Since then, it's been a meteoric rise, punctuated this past summer by a narrow loss to Venus Williams at the U.S. Open.
I think the Venus match kind of just showed me that I'm meant to play this sport on the international level on a big stage like that.
I've never dealt with somebody who's this kind of height.
The challenge these days is to keep improving. Marino now trains at the National Tennis Center in Montreal, but one former player thinks that because it's such a small sport in Canada, she may need to eventually head south.
It's a little difficult because we don't have that many tennis players, but it's great that I can represent us on such an international level. I'm proud to be from Vancouver, and I'm definitely going to show the world that we're strong and we can do this.
All right, more proof Canadian athletes are taking over the world. Ontario's Joey Votto was named the National League MVP today. Votto plays on the Reds and becomes the third Canuck to ever win the award. Larry Walker won in '97, Justin Morneau won in 2006, and for Joey, it's a dream come true.
When I was a kid, you know, it crossed your mind, and when you're a teenager, it crossed your mind. Maybe one day I could be the MVP like, you know, Barry Bonds or Albert Pujols or, you know, any of those guys. But, you know, now I'm finally the MVP, and what a fantastic experience and amazing award.
Let's go from one Canadian MVP to another. Steve Nash and the Suns in Houston tonight. Steve's got a new hairdo. There he goes. Nash coming off a groin injury. Didn't look like it tonight. The easy deuce in the first. The thing about Steve Nash is that he can make something out of anything. Watch this circus shot in the third. It's going to count. Suns lead by 10. And then in the fourth, more vintage Nash. He had 24 points as the Suns win 123-116. They are now 7-7 on the year. And in that game, Steve Nash scored his 15,000th point in the NBA. So quite a mainstay, I'd say, in the NBA.
I'm thinking about the Stingers. Wonder what it's like to have a season like that. You know, 1-20. How do you find the courage to go on? Why don't you just throw up your hands
Why
and
don't you
say,
quit?
okay.
Absolutely. No,
Yeah.
and I asked them that tonight. I said, why do you guys do this? And they said, you know what? We just love the game. We'll have a full story on that tomorrow on CHEK News at 5.
All right, Paul, thanks very much. We'll see you tomorrow.
Sounds good.
And good night to you. Thanks for being with us. We'll see you again tomorrow night at 10 o'clock. Good night.